So it's Saturday, and I'm about to get on my way and start my day and not really get away from the computer. I've been doing a lot of work on the computer for both payroll and, of course, sports algorithms. But I was like, all right, well, it is a humongous Saturday. There are a bazillion college basketball games. And when you spend time with these algorithms that are giving you intelligent predictions about the games with all the stats, and you update everything, and you're asked to build a big, huge round robin calculator, which I built for 15 different possibility of teams. I didn't realize you could make these ridiculous bets where you could make, where you could win life-changing money with not a ton of money. So I'm like, well, we have the algorithms. How can you not take the rendering from this and try to turn it into winners? What would you do? Well, let's do that because I'm going to get on my way after I craft like $100-something wager. So let's take a look and see if any of these games actually have playable lines. Let's go. All right. So I've updated the file and we have all these crazy games at a 5% bump. We have 99 games in here somehow. Now, not all of them have lines, but whatever. We're doing the best we can. So we're looking descending by margin right now. And any teams with really good lines, we are going to want to take, especially home teams. So there are 68 home teams on this list. Is there any way we can find close to 15 winners so that we can fill out this thing here? Well, the algorithm would say that when it comes to winning games, home teams above 10% margin are the best pick of winning. So there are 47 of those games. So in just its rawest form, if you could find 72, you could find 15 of these games to play at reasonable lines. You're supposed to play them because that's where you're going to have like your 90% win percentage of wins and losses with the day is in that range. So I'm going to look, and I mean, what you can do to try to filter this list to get an answer to that question, right, is you can say, I want to change the margin on the filter to only games above 0.1, which is a 10% margin after a 5% bump is what we're showing. So we're bumping the teams and we're giving them another 5% essentially as our threshold. Then you can sort this thing by money line, descending. And that gives you the ones with the best lines that are on the list. And 3 of them don't actually have lines. So it's really to get to 15 of these. There's some pretty bad lines, but that's not the worst thing I've ever seen. And if you copy this and we start to add it to our calculator, let's see if this is even possible to play. Because I'm just trying to have this thing just create a list of teams that in order it would say to play. Now there's some injuries in there, and there are also games with better lines that you could take. But if we're just looking for winners, something's wrong there. Supposed to take Tulsa. I thought maybe whatever. We're just doing a sample anyway. So there would be 15 games here, and you can do crazy stuff with $100 even. It won't even let you play like the 6s through 11s, I think. And if you've got, it's $200 because you have to, yeah, that's expensive right there. If you did this, here's $150 wager that pays $2,700 if you hit nothing but home teams above 10% margin. I mean, that's really good. I was not expecting it to pay that much, but it's because we have 15 teams on here. And on average, like I said, these teams win 90% of their, then 90% of the time a home team, excuse me, up in that margin actually wins. So if that's true, you lose one or two games in here somewhere. You lose. Now you get still $600. You lose again, and you're still winning. I mean, that is a winning proposition. I'm gonna look for lines and do something like this with top home teams, because this is excellent given how strong a lot of those picks are. But that's basically how I would advise to use the file when you purchase a copy of the college basketball algorithm. I mean, they're also, I'm willing to open up the range as well, and show all the games, and also play some things that have better lines but might not win as much. And also, you don't have to bet 15. 15 is an enormous number. I mean, for example, we have some underdogs on this list, of which a bunch are going to be away teams. Trying these things out. Okay, let's see if this is even possible. So if just at a 5% bump, you just took everything that was an underdog on here. Let's see what happens. See how many of those are. Okay, now here you've got incredible lines, but not all of them are going to win. And it's not going to be like it is with all those home teams we were just talking about. So you have 9 teams in this example. Let's try to split up. And you really should spend time with the ratios, but on a 9 team where you're going to want to bet like the 4s and the 5s a lot, that's going to be the best one to win. 4s is usually a good one. 26. So you can get 47. Let's see here. About 25, about 25. Here's $150, pays $32,000 if you hit all your underdogs. You're not going to hit all your underdogs. But what if you hit, all right, you'd lose Texas El Paso at the bottom. $7,000. What if you lose Louisiana Tech? $2,000. What if you lose the big favorite Texas Arlington? Still $500. What if you lose Morgan State? Now you lose money. So if you can go better than 5 and 4 on your 9 here, yeah, that's a lot. That's actually kind of about where it's probably going to be, actually, because those are all dogs. So it makes me want to read into this more. Like, for example, you want to stay away from Louisiana Tech here because they're injured. So you want to get them off of there. It just goes on forever. I can't spend all day doing this. I got other stuff I got to do. So point is there's a lot to do. I would recommend going with home teams. I would not recommend going with underdogs on a round robin. Going with stuff like this with high margins and finding anything reasonable and throwing it together on a really high end round robin, because that kind of payout in here is ridiculous. Even when these lines are averaging like minus 300 to 230, call it whatever. When you've got so many of them, it's just like, it's amazing the number of combinations. It's amazing what FanDuel will not let you bet within this range when you try to play this many combinations. It just can't handle these 5,000, 6,000, 5,000 combinations. It's like, no, we're not gonna. They're like, we're not gonna let you bet those, but we'll let you bet around here. So if you put 10 cents on something, it's already $130 at this level because there's so many combinations. But the potential win on something like college basketball where home teams win so much and you actually do hit so many of these. Yeah, that's pretty bad actually for fours. But then you got to start betting the higher ones, right? You have to bet like up here. Here's where you put your $130. Now all of a sudden it's 7 grand. I'm amazed that you could turn $130 into 7,000 and it's called say miss one. Still 2,000 to go 14-1 on really high end home teams on average if you can find minus 230, which you're not always going to. All right, I've talked enough, but that's kind of what I'll do something for like $100 and do it with the home teams. All right. So good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning.